Hello everyone, welcome back for a new video. I hope that you're all happy, healthy, and having a fantastic day out there. So as some of you might know from my previous videos, I recently went to Greece. I went to my family's house in a small village called Kamaria. If you haven't seen these previous videos, go check them out. I had so much fun. Anyways, before I went to Greece, I went to London for a few days because it's a city that my parents and I had never seen before, and my sister had been there a few months ago for a school trip, and according to her, it was amazing and absolutely worth going. So my parents said, why not? Let's make a little stop before we go to Greece and go to London. So if you've never been to London and you're thinking about eventually going, this video is for you. I'm gonna be sharing my impressions and I'm gonna be describing the city and tell you guys what I thought of my little stay in that beautiful city. So let's get started. The first thing I noticed when I arrived in the city is how clean it is. I mean, there's just no waste on the ground. I didn't see a single piece of trash, and I walked in the city for like 5 days. Also, the architecture is very impressive. There's a lot of very cool bridges and large towers with clocks, including the Big Ben. I was very excited to see this one. So the first thing we did when we arrived is go see the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. I recorded a lot of it, so roll the clip. As you guys saw, there was a lot of people and some streets were closed, and there were some police officers warning us to be careful because there was 4 thieves that were stealing stuff from people's bags when they recorded, because when you record you usually raise your arms like this. It can make it easier for the thieves to steal your stuff while you record. So the police officers were very kind by telling us to be careful. And also, I remember a few minutes after seeing the changing of the guard, my dad and I were just walking in the streets and we saw some guards on horses, and it was pretty impressive. Alright, after that, my family and I went to see about 3 museums, I believe. And guys, they're all free in London. I didn't know that because apparently there are a lot of donors who give money to the museums. They raise money from the citizens, from the people. So that's very good for the tourists. Overall, the museums were pretty cool. We went to see an art museum, a history museum, I believe. Also, I remember when we were at the art museum, I saw a quote on the wall, and I believe the quote was, "I am the curator of my own misery." I just thought that was so true, and I was inspired by that quote. And also, the most interesting museum to me was the Science Museum, because there were many sections. There was a medicine section, there was a biology section, and many more. Very cool museum. And they were huge, guys. It took us like 2 hours to visit each museum, and we skipped a few sections sometimes. So that gives you an idea. Alright, so that's enough with the museum. Now let's talk about the second thing I visited when I went to London, and that is the Sky Garden. So guys, it's basically a garden in the sky. The name is pretty self-explanatory. So you take an elevator and you go up like 30 floors in a huge building, and then when you reach the top, there's some sort of lounge with a lot of plants and huge windows to give you an amazing view on the city. And there was an indoor section and there was also a balcony outside, and that was the most impressive part. We could see the whole city from that balcony. Also, little story, while we were in the Sky Garden, we heard in the intercom that there was fire in the building, so they were like, evacuate as soon as possible. So then we kind of started panicking, but no one around us was panicking, so we were kind of wondering what the heck was going on. And like 2 minutes later, they said on the intercom, this was just a joke or something like that. So we were like, they like playing with the tourists here, and we thought it was pretty funny. Okay, so that's enough for the Sky Garden. Now, let's talk about something else that I visited while I was in London. So, as some of you might know, I'm a pretty big Harry Potter fan. I did many Harry Potter videos on the channel already. And what's pretty cool about London is that it's full of Harry Potter filming locations. So my family and I visited a bunch of locations, including King's Cross train station, Sirius Black's house, and many more. So first of all, King's Cross train station was way more modern than I thought, because in the movies it's kind of old, but it's been a while since the movies were made, so it makes sense. The station was very big and very impressive to see in person. There's even a little wall there in honor of Harry Potter that says platform 9 3/4, and there was a bunch of people there taking some pictures and stuff. There was also a Harry Potter store there, but it was full of people. So after visiting King's Cross station, we went to Sirius Black's house, located at the 12 Grimmauld Street in Claremont Square. It took us a good 20 minutes of walking from King's Cross station to get there, but it was worth it. Pretty nice house, and if you're a Harry Potter fan, I would say it's totally worth visiting. So now it's time to talk about the last thing I saw in London, and probably my favorite. It's still Harry Potter related. It's the Harry Potter Museum. Just to give you an idea, it took us about 4 hours to visit the entire museum. There's so much stuff to see from the movies. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you have to go there. So I'm gonna show you guys a little clip of what I saw in that museum. Roll the clip.
You know, foolish wand waving or silly incantations in this class.
museum. The employees were very nice, and also there was a little scavenger hunt that we could do. So they gave us this right here, a Harry Potter passport. So it's full of clues that you can follow and find some objects in the museum or something. I don't really know. My family and I, we didn't do it because we had no time. It already took us 4 hours to visit the museum. It would have been even longer if we did the scavenger hunt. Alright guys, so overall, I really enjoyed my visit in London. I thought the city was beautiful and I saw a lot of very cool things, from the museums to the architecture to the restaurants. Everything was very nice. Oh yeah, and one last thing, speaking of the restaurants, the food there is pretty expensive, guys. So it's basically the same prices as in Canada, but instead of Canadian dollars, it's pounds. So you have to multiply by like 1.8 or something like that. So that's it for this video. I tried to keep it short because there was a lot of things to show and to say. So have a wonderful day, guys. Stay tuned, awesome videos coming soon, and I'll see you next time. Peace.